What do we have here? Oh, it's Christmas. We got the filter. Time to install it. Welcome back. Today we have an important piece of resistance. We have the air filter. This is a DNA high performance air filter, and I'll show you what it looks like compared to stock. So we're gonna go ahead and open the box here. It comes in a nice little plastic, has some extra stuff I'm gonna show you here in a minute. You can see this is what it looks like. It's pretty much a replica of the stock air filter. Even though the one stock looks like it's washable, it's not, but this one is. And you can use the oil on it. So we're just gonna place it right here. I'm gonna see what else is in the box. On how to use the servicing kit and the sealing and how to watch it. That's in there. Then inside you have your decals. You have your DNA decals. You can see high performance filter, DNA. You have a little QR code for them. I'll put these here. You have your instructions right here. This is literally your instructions. You have another decal here. And then here you have your oil or your lube. This is what's going to go around. It shows it's squeezable, but we're going to have to do it by hand according to the instructions. Okay, so now we pull out the air box, and you can see the work we've done there already. I'm going to put this here. I'm going to grab the air filter, just slide it right out. You can see how bulky this is compared to stock. Compared to the newer one, this one's a lot bulkier. And you can see here, it matches perfectly those grooves. The only difference is it doesn't have this little lip on the bottom. You can see, so it gives you more room for air, and you're gonna have your bike breathing a lot better compared to the stock one. You can see the stock is really restricted compared to this one. The fins are a lot larger. So we're gonna go ahead and install these now. Okay, so if you look under the box here, you can see it has like a little divot right here. You can see it at the very top. And that's pretty much gonna show you how this goes in. So pretty much you can see here, that little divot goes to the passenger side or the right side of the motorcycle. So we just slide it right in, and this little divot here is gonna reach the bottom. But before we do that, we want to make sure now that we install the little juice here. This is going to be your oil. We're going to use some gloves, and we're going to just pretty much soak the whole air filter. But we're going to do it from the opposite side, so that way the engine is not sucking in this oil or this lube, and we're going to do it from this side. I think it's a lot better that way, and you get a lot.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit.
There you go. So you can see we have it installed pretty much on there. And you can see the iconic DNA filter embedded logo there, and all we're just going to do is slide it down. It does have a little bit of play. You can see there just a tiny bit of play. So we just have to line it up with the box perfectly, and we should be good. So we're gonna go ahead and put on the air box. Remember this sensor, move it out the way. And we're going to just slide this right on. So we gotta make sure we line up these rails here on each side, and it's just gonna slide right down. Make sure everything's out the way. There we go. That's one side, and one and done. There we go. Now it's sealed. And that's it. Now we just gotta button it all up, and I'm just gonna do that in a high-speed fashion because it's pretty much everything we did, but in the reverse. So. So there it is. Now we're going to go ahead and put the ECU. We got to make sure we get those wires tucked in afterwards, not before, because you need to bend it a little, slide it right up there, and then these are going to clip. Once they clip in, that's it. Now you squeeze these wires in between here. You want to make sure that this fuel wire is out the way, so that way this ECU wire sits right there. You can see it right here. And we're going to take off this cover, and we're going to install the, we're going to go ahead and install the fuel tank. You want to make sure you have all your fuel hoses ready, and your fuel, what's that called? Fuel pump plug. There we go. The fuel pump plug ready as well. So everything's ready here already. We're going to go and straighten up these bars. Make sure it's nice and straight so we can slide that tank. A plastic tube, so you want to be careful with that. And the way you put it in is these big grommets on the side, they're just going to slide right in. So once you put it in, you want to make sure those grommets are lined up, and all you would do is push it forward. There we go. Once you push it forward, it's kind of like a hood. You can hold it up here with a screwdriver if you want. And then we're going to make sure that everything lines up. We still need to go forward a whole lot. There we go. Now that it's slid forward, you want to find that hose and put it here towards the top. Okay, so right here, you have your main fuel line, which is this one right here, this little S-shaped fuel line. And you can see here, it has this little plastic part. And the only way to take it out is with a small, thin screwdriver. So you put it down there, you pry it down. You'd have to pry it down really hard in order to take it out. So in this case, we've already brought it down. It's going to be real easy to plug into this port here. Okay, now for the other side, I would recommend installing this side first because it does have like a hose clamp. You have to get a large enough tool. So we're going to install this one first. Now, there's no way of putting it over or under because they're both going to be overlapped. And it's pretty much basic fuel lines. But we do need to get a tool to grab this hose clamp here, light it up, and we're just going to put it in this port here, hold the tank and try to squeeze it in there. You can see there, I squeezed it right in there. Let me see if I can get a little bit closer, probably a little lower. There we go. So I squeezed it up in there, make sure it's snug to the top, raise this up. There it is, all the way to the top. And there you have it. There you go. You can see it there. It's all the way to the top. And now we're going to grab this other hose right here. You can see it here. Let me back off just a tiny bit so you can see what I'm talking about. And this one's just going to clip in. You're going to hear it clip, and it's just going to slide right in, right? It's already in there. You can see. You can push it a little more if you want. But once it clips in right there, this little bottom plastic gray piece, you're going to push it and you're going to feel them both clip. Once it's clipped in, there it is. It's not going anywhere. So you push it and you're going to feel it suck it right in. Now don't forget your fuel pump plug. And you want to look at the way it plugs in. You look at those little divots, match it up here, and there you go. And that's it. Now, we're not going to tighten it yet because we want to make sure that we plug in the top portion. Now in the top portion, we have here your vent. It's one of your vent tubes. You want to make sure it's tightened there onto the clip. We have a little clip in there. We can probably stick our hand here, clip it there, and then it'll come out right to this divot right here in front of the ignition. And then all we have to do is pretty much just route it here. You can see there. And then we do the same process. Okay. I think that's all the way to the top. We can just leave it right there, and that is perfect. go. We just snug that hose right into this little groove right here. It's already made for it. It's a little channel. Want to make sure it's on this other clip here, and we should be good. We should be good. And let's listen for that fuel pump. Make sure it comes on. There it is. We're in neutral, and here we go. So what you want to do next is, after you've ran it, warmed up the engine a bit, what you want to do next is lift up the tank, make sure there's no visible leaks, everything's good to go, and start tightening down the 4 screws that hold the tank in the back. And we're using this T-handle Allen wrench, and you should tighten them down to whatever spec they are. They didn't have any Loctite, so just tighten them down as good as you can. Next goes this rear seat, and we're just going to slide her in right there. Slides right in. Your cowl, which is what holds everything into place. I'm doing it wrong. I'm in the open position. There we go. Okay, and that takes care of the seat and the rear cowl, so that's installed. Now we're going to install this top vent cover, or whatever you want to call this. There we go. There we go. And that's all there is to it. You just push them down, and these plastic will fall into place. So let me show you here. This is a weird setup, but this is the way the tank comes off. You do have to clip it in there, and then on this back end, you have to like drop it and clip it. And then these clips, you can see here, these clips, there's one that goes in the far inside right here. And you pretty much have to clip it all together right in there. And here on this far corner right here, there's little pop screws. I'm gonna pop clips. Snoochie booch. There we go. And there we go. And that's it. Catch you guys. Make sure to subscribe, like, comment if you have a Yamaha MT09. Just let me know. See you guys on the next one. Peace, chicken grease.